You've tuned into Ignition GT. Welcome back to this week's show. Mitsubishi is well known for the longevity of their various model lines. The ASX, for instance, was launched in 2011 and only recently came up for its second product upgrade. Can the Mitsubishi still hold a candle to its younger, funkier rivals? Joining Francisca and Brenwyn to help answer that question, Lindsay Smythe. Welcome, guys.
Hello.
You ready to have another heated debate? Francisca, your first time?
My first time.
So we're going to show you how this thing works.
Okay.
If it's your first time watching as well, each of us gets 30 seconds to tell you why our car is the best. So we've got compact crossovers, we've gone with manual transmissions, and all of them are petrol. So we've tried to keep it as even as possible. So Lindsay, you have got the newest car, yeah? So you start our 30-second sales pitch. Good luck.
I need luck. If you want good, honest motoring, 2 eyes and a nose kind of car, then the ASX is for you. There's nothing particularly fancy about it. It doesn't have the most amazing spec. It's quite pricey, but it is. It has a great boot. What else? It's got the best ground clearance here. A good fuel tank, so you can go long distances. You see, I'm reaching here.
And I'm waiting for him to say time up. Time's up, Lindsay.
Reliable.
I can't believe you didn't speak about Dakar though. Because that's the normal, like every Mitsubishi, Dakar. You know, they keep hanging on to.
I don't think the person who's buying a Mitsubishi ASX knows anything about the Dakar.
They won't even remember, exactly. It's so long ago. Okay, very nicely done. You've got an easier sales pitch than I do. So let's start my 30 seconds now. The Suzuki SX4, the reason why you should buy it is that actually you cannot buy it, or brand new that is, because the entire range has been discontinued by Suzuki. When this car launched, we were a little bit disappointed. The XS4 was such an amazing car in its smaller compact version. The minute they tried to take on the big players, the pricing was wrong and they lost that great 2-litre engine for 1.6. Why you should buy it though, you're going to get a hell of a great deal if you buy this car second hand now, and mine is the only one with all-wheel drive, which you may need. Right.
That was pretty good.
Well done. Well done.
Polishing, yes. Okay, Brenwyn, your turn.
Okay. Well, the Fiat 500X is an extremely charming car, and it's based on the Jeep Renegade, so it's got the heart and soul of an authentic off-roader, which is nice to know, even though it can't really go off-road, let's be honest. But the endearing parts of the Fiat 500X is mostly its looks. It's so cute and cuddly, and the interior is fantastically laid out, and I love the seating position. It feels like you're ensconced in it rather than sitting atop it. It's also the most powerful car here, even though it is the second most expensive car here.
It's the car I would have wanted.
Yeah.
And actually the car that you've got is the other car that I would have wanted.
Yeah.
I think Lindsay and I would both. Listen, just put him in his place though, Francisca, because he's saying he's got the most powerful car here. That's not entirely true.
Which he doesn't. We do match each other.
You match. Are you ready for your 30-second sales pitch on the Opel Mokka X? Off you go.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, my car looks better than everyone else's here. I'll just have to say that. The Opel Mokka X obviously is a car that everybody likes, from the first one that came out to the second generation. And now, you know, Opel talks about these new Germans, and that's really the case with these ones. You know, it's got great technology in the car. You've got a whole lot of cool features that, you know, can appeal to all the target market and a younger target market. You've got a good amount of power from a 1.4-litre turbocharged engine, 103 kilowatts, and as well, you've got something...
Murray Walker?
Time's up. I suppose we could all ask the question. I mean, I'm obviously an Opel fan, and it's like a lot of people might think, well, why do I want to buy an Opel Mokka when no one really knows what's happening with Opel in South Africa? So we can start that discussion. Yeah, that could be a potential negative in terms of selling that car, but. You know, GM did a proper job screwing Opel up here for so long, and now they're not here anymore either. So
scary.
Let's see what happens to Opel, because it's a fantastic car. Let's talk. I mean, you guys were raving about how powerful your cars are. Why? 1.4 turbo.
1.4 turbo. We do match each other for kilowatt output, but I've got 230 Newton meters of torque. How many Newton meters of torque do you have?
I've got 200 Newton meters of torque.
30 makes all the difference.
It doesn't really matter in a little naturally, or in a little petrol engine, so it's fine. The torque's all diesel. Lindsay, you've obviously got the biggest engine here, the 2-litre.
Yeah, mine is old school.
Yeah.
It's old school. It's a 2-litre engine. You've got 110 kilowatts, so that is the winner on the kilowatts count. But the torque is down, so it's not a car that you're going to race. I would say that the ASX is a car for for an older buyer.
Yeah.
Just purely based on what it offers.
Well, I mean, look, let's not even get to me. SX4 got so much bigger from the previous generation, and then they chose to get rid of the 2-litre engine and put a 1.6 in it, so it never really went, which was, I think, when we reviewed it all those years ago, that was our biggest disappointment as well. Lindsay, you mentioned your size of your fuel tank, that you can go further. Let's talk about fuel consumption. I want to start by saying that is one thing that Suzuki does do. If they tell you this is the claimed fuel figure, it is pretty accurate. So this impresses me, and you do get it if you're driving on your own. The minute you put people in your SX4, that engine's going to struggle to work, and the consumption
Well, again, it's
goes.
the turbo versus non-turbo as well.
Yeah. You guys are trumping us, yeah?
5.9.
6, yeah.
Yeah,
Just
see.
0.1 of a difference, really.
5.9.
So, I mean,
Better.
you guys shared the output.
Yeah.
You winning the fuel consumption.
Yeah.
Lindsay, there better be something you and I can win.
Again, old school.
Well, look at your boot.
Yeah, I win the boot, don't I?
Yes,
I
you
think
do.
I do.
442.
Yeah.
That's very, very
Yeah.
impressive.
Yeah.
Just behind you at 430. I am very surprised. I'm very surprised at how small the boot
That
of that.
boot, yeah.
Because I love that car. It is really, really cool.
Teeny tiny. But look, remember,
You don't need the boot.
it's a 500
Yeah.
X.
Exactly.
You know, at least they were
Emphasis on the
honest about
500.
it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But I suppose as well, if we look at, I mean, we may as well link the two together. You look at the overall length of the cars as well.
Yeah.
You might have lost out on boot space, but it's also how they figure out the interior in terms
Yeah.
of giving you better leg room. Because I found that 500X actually quite spacious.
Really
and that was a big step up with the Suzuki. I mean, they really went to town in terms of size. So if you own the previous generation, this is going to blow you away. A good all-rounder for you in terms of length and space and interior.
Exactly, and it's slightly a taller car as well. So you know, it actually all does fit in. Even though it might not be the longest car yet, it might not have the biggest boot, but the overall packaging is actually very good. You know,
Let's talk about, to wrap up, let's talk about these cars, and we can now speak honestly.
Okay.
Which car would we like to have, and what about the other cars that are out there? I know we speak, this segment's got so many vehicles. Where would
And
you-
particularly, I mean, we chose these
Yeah.
four because they're slightly
Left field.
off-centre,
Yeah.
of what you might choose.
what would you take?
okay, look, I think you'd have to be smoking copious amounts of Dakar to pay that price for the AS6. In this segment, I know I've said it before. Let's say it again. Beautiful. Comment of the day.
Those premeditated.
Of the season, done. I mean, no one's going to top that. That was brilliant. Brilliant.
Toyota CHR or Mazda CX-3. Those are my picks. I really love this Fiat, and I love the Opel too, but I think Francisco and I are in the same boat in that both these brands have questionable futures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for that, the Opel would be, I mean, we drove it recently. In fact, I drove it to work this morning. And it's brilliant.
Yeah.
It really is a good car. And the best thing about it is the solidity of that car. It
Yes.
really, like, you feel the German engineering in it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's hope that Opel continues strongly.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, at the end of the day, if you pay a little bit more, I know we've gone with the Enjoy, but if you go Cosmo, I mean, the thing is so incredibly
everything.
well spec'd at that price point, and it really feels like that German luxury that you find. So it's a tricky one. I wouldn't go with Mazda because it's the same problem as what Lindsay sits with. Naturally aspirated,
turbo.
up here, you struggle. 1.4 is the way to go.
Then the Toyota, that's got
Yeah.
a fabulous engine.
Yeah.
Really good engine.
So that's a good choice.
As long as you know how to park, because it's got really bad blind spots.
And it's even like, I mean, Qashqai would have been the benchmark always, but for me, since that 1.2 turbo came out, it just doesn't move the car. I just don't like it anymore. Shame, no one's going for my Suzuki, eh? Gutted. You are going to get an amazing deal if you do buy it
Second-hand,
second-hand, though.
yeah.
And the nice thing is, I mean, Suzuki's not leaving, so obviously in terms of parts availability, you'll still be able to service your SX4, and it is Japanese, so nothing ever breaks, much like your Mitsubishi. They just go on and on and on. That's probably the questionable bit about Fiat. How long will that go on and on and on? I love it though.
I love it. It's cute.
Francisco,
If the Renegade wasn't so badly priced, then
Yes,
it would
yeah.
certainly be.
I would never want
take it over this.
to take. Why would you want to take the Renegade? It tries too hard. Fiat does small compact crossovers.
It
That's
depends what
this
you're
is.
into.
Different strokes, eh?
Yeah.
Different strokes. Final thought.
Final thought. I would stick with my car, but Brendan said that CHR. I drove the CHR recently, and that is the nicest, newest Toyota you can get right now.
That's like the benchmark.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you very much. This was all polite. We're all still friends. And well done to Brenwan for the chirp of the season.
Thank you.
Lots of Dakar. With that, we've come to the end of another show. Be sure to join us again next week when we drive the greatest BMW 7 Series of them all. The all-new Hyundai Elantra makes its local debut. And Tasman gives the Toyota 86 a proper workout around Zwartkops. We're going to see you again next week, but until then, you know what to do. Keep left and pass right.